Well, welcome out there to my program once again. Always a pleasure to be here. Always a pleasure to have you out there in the audience. We'll start off with the tip of the week. And this is pretty interesting. This is about contracts. So if you ever enter into a contract with anyone, buying a home, well, let's say you're buying a home and you have to sign, the purchase and sales agreement. One of the several key elements in a binding contract, not all of them, but several key elements, is you have to remember that there are basically two material terms, what they call, and one is price and the other is a closing date. So if you're buying a house and you're dealing with a broker and you get the purchase and sales agreement eventually, you put in the terms, maybe you want to negotiate the price. It might be that you want some conditions. The yard is going to be cleaned up, two-stall garage, emptied, it's cluttered. So you want to get these little things taken care of before you actually move in. You put it into the contract. But two of the main terms is you have to reach a price and also a closing date. And if there's no price, there's no contract. And if there's no closing date, there's no contract. Closing dates can be extended, so it might be 30 days, you put the date down, something happens, occasionally the date of closing gets extended. But there could be a premium. Sometimes a seller will ask maybe for an additional amount of money as far as the deposit or some sort of other type of security. And the other thing is this too. In a contract, if you're given a contract and you want to have that as a binding contract, you cannot add terms to it and then sign it and then think that's binding on the party that offered you the contract, because if you change anything, basically it's a new contract, and what you're doing is a counter offer to the person that made the original offer to you. So anyway, Joseph Martins, back again.
Thank you.
School committee man and up for re-election this year.
Yes, I got to still get my papers. I will.
Oh, you have enough time?
Oh yes, I have plenty of time.
When is the closing date? Do you have any idea?
Sometime in the latter part of, about the middle of July, I think it is.
Oh, you get a lot of time. This is the beginning of May, May, June. Well, you have, 10 weeks, 11 weeks. So, well, let's talk about SkilsUSA. Give us an explanation of what is SkilsUSA.
SkilsUSA is competition between the vocational schools in Massachusetts. It starts out with having a local competition within the school itself amongst the students. And then the one that is judged to be the best project, it goes on to a regional competition. Regional competition in Fall River is the southeast region, which is Diamond, Durfee with its vocational programs, maybe Bristol, Plymouth, in Taunton, and Upper Cape Cod, just over the bridge of over the Bourne Bridge.
So when you say regional, where would they go?
Some school.
Some school.
Right, yeah, in that region.
So Marlborough.
I'll get to that part.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
That's the region Diamond hosts, and so does Bristol, Plymouth. So they alternate various schools within that region. And then the winners of the contests and the regional now go up to the state competition, which is held in Marlborough.
Okay.
And that's the one that was just this past weekend. The students go up on a Thursday night. They compete during the course of Friday, then Saturday and Saturday, and then Saturday afternoon they have their awards section. At that point in time, there's representatives from every school. There's probably maybe around 2,000-3,000 kids up there, and it's quite
I was
amazing.
told that they book 7 hotels.
Oh yeah, well, for that many kids, sure, absolutely so.
In the Weston Hotel is
Yeah.
the biggest, I believe.
Yeah, and they house the kids. They compete. Of course, you got to feed them as well, and then you have to supervise them. So there's a lot of adult supervision.
And a lot of them actually stay overnight.
Yes, they stay overnight, right. And they have a dance in the Friday evening. There's a dance, and there's they can use the hotel swimming pool and whatnot. And then they have to, and each group has the advisor, and that advisor, which is normally a faculty member or an administrator of the school, for that particular program, okay, like carpentry, automotive, each of them, drafting, each of them have their own competition, and each have their own advisor, and the advisor is responsible for the conduct of the kids in that program.
Now, where is the next venue? This Marlborough was state. Where is the
Yeah, that's the state.
national?
That's the state competition. Then the winners of the state competition go on to national competition.
And that's again,
and
that must be huge.
Yeah, it is. It is huge. It is huge.
Have you ever been to a national?
No, unfortunately, I have not. I've always funded the kids to go with their chaperones and whatnot. My last years at Diamond, it was about $55,000 just
Now,
to
how many
send the group.
students would go? Like, let's.
Oh, they had just about every shop. So it was 18 shops. It was 18 groups of kids going to.
And it could be 3 to a group.
Oh, if you have open and closing ceremonies, that's 6.
6 to a group.
6 students in that competition would go, and if it's for the
That's going to be over 100 students, 110 students.
yeah, it's pretty big, pretty big. You're paying for the air flight, paying everything. So I wanted
Did
all
you get
them.
a charter plane when you have that many students? Did you get a charter plane?
Normally it is, yeah, and that's chartered through the Massachusetts Department of Education, because they have an office, a skills office, and they do that. They charter a flight to so that it becomes a little bit cheaper, and it's dedicated only to chartering the kids from wherever. This year, I believe it's going to be someplace in Tennessee. Normally, it's in oh my goodness gracious, I forgot the city. Kansas City.
Kansas.
Yeah, but I think this year is supposed to be in Tennessee. But there you have 10,000 kids or more. Yeah, that's a lot of students.
That's a lot of hotel rooms.
Yeah, that's a lot of hotel rooms, absolutely so.
Now, if there's 2 per room, I mean,
Sometimes they'll bring in a cot and have 3 in a room.
3 in a room.
And
Still, that's over 3,000 rooms.
Oh yeah, that's quite an organization, but it's worthwhile because the students can demonstrate what they can do, and in these competitions, especially, I'll give you one example: the auto mechanics. Brand new vehicles will be brought in, and they will have a bug put into it so it won't start. The student has to analyze what the problem is and then fix it and get the vehicle started. There's an experienced mechanic, technician, standing right beside the student, but that student, and that's for safety reasons or in case the student does, really goofs up, but that doesn't happen. And if the student asks for a particular tool, then the experienced technician will give it to him or her. You can't say, give me that whatchamacallit,
Oh,
because nobody knows what a whatchamacallit is.
I hope not at
Yeah,
that stage.
Right, so, you will not be, the student will not be handed anything. You have to go through the toolbox and find what you want. And that takes up time, because you're not only, you're being judged upon the repair.
So it's like a doctor's scalpel.
Yeah, absolutely so.
and it's handed.
Yep, you're being judged not only on the repair, but also how quickly it took you.
And the proper tool.
And use of the proper tools, yes. Yeah, you can't take a ratchet wrench and use it as a hammer to tap something in place or something like that. Caterpillar comes in. They're a heavy for heavy machinery, diesels. They'll come in with bulldozers in the national competition.
Well,
And-
let's take a shop like Diamond, though. They don't get to that stage of.
No, they
heavy-
won't. They
heavy-
won't enter that competition.
But other schools,
Oh, other schools do. Sure.
maybe some school where it's more agricultural in setting.
Sure, absolutely so. It's really an exciting program, and those kids, they work hard to get there. It's an honor to be able to go on to state competition, and it's fantastic to go on to national
Now,
competition.
after the national, is there an international competition?
Yes, there is. There's an international, and that's every 2 years. Because the first year, the student basically almost lives with the trainer, and they go to
Well, let me
like
ask
to
you
work.
this. Now, if a senior gets to the state, and then, of course, they're going to graduate in June, yet the international is maybe a year or two later,
Yes,
are they still part of
yes,
competition?
yes, because you're competing against every country in the world.
So even though a
international
student
group.
has graduated,
Correct.
if they've made the national,
Yep.
they're allowed
Yes.
to go to the
Yes,
international.
indeed. Diamond had a couple of kids going on to international competition.
In what trade? What,
I think it was in culinary, but that was quite some time ago.
Culinary.
Yeah. So it's really quite exciting.
and where did they go? Did you mention international?
International, normally in Germany.
Germany.
Uh,
It's a nice flight,
Yep.
6.5 hours.
Yeah.
and
But
they get-
it's just exciting on the
the
part of the
hotel
students to be able to do that. I mean, like that, and that is the best of the best at that point in time. So really fantastic.
that was like
Yeah.
my flight when I
There you
joined
go.
the Army. I had to go alone.
Well, just that the uniform is different.
Yeah, sure is. So, next year, I imagine you already got the notice. It's going to be the 28th, I believe, of April.
For the
Next SkilsUSA
SkilsUSA for
in
18?
Marlboro.
Really? Oh, wow. I know they book it way ahead of time.
Well, Brian already sent emails out, so you must have one.
Oh, really? Oh.
Now, as far as volunteers, when I mention the word volunteer, what does that conjure up in your mind?
That you work for nothing.
Well, where do they
You're
get these?
volunteering your time.
Where do they get these people? How does one
Oh,
volunteer and actually qualify?
right, you
Or are
you would
people?
normally qualify, you'd volunteer for things that, as a judge, you'd volunteer. All right.
But I imagine people are generally pre-qualified, then asked.
Oh,
they would
yeah,
like
at
to-
that point in time, on international competition,
Or
they're
even
experts.
on a state level.
Even on the state level, there are those, those that are doing repair work or setting up, building a shed or building a house.
No, I'm talking about the judges.
Oh, the judges. They're well, those judges are experts. They're very highly trained people that know their business, so that if you're working on a brand new Chevrolet or a brand new Ford.
Well, I think
you know,
I'm talking about the other things. You have the presentations. You know, in the morning,
yeah.
you have little presentations, and you have
Oh,
a
well,
group
on
of people.
those, okay, the skills presentations you're referring to, that is just interesting people. They're talking about those who, you know, does the student make sense? Is the student capable of talking about his or her, whatever it is that he's
Project,
presenting,
yeah.
the project in there? And, you know, they do try to get people who have some understanding of it as well in there, that it's not totally foreign to them. Like I was judging the book, safety book, and also the community service book in there, and there was about 6 of us doing this, but there were 13 books, and the books were around yay thick. You're going through there, and you're looking, you know, did the students make sense? There are guidelines. You must follow the guidelines,
Yeah.
you know, in doing this, and it's really well organized.
There was one in the afternoon that I participated in. It was a parliamentary presentation
Yes.
that found out to be unusual in a sense, actually, as a vocational type skill.
Well,
It was the ability to conduct a meeting.
correct. But if you're the president of a company and you have machinists, and you might have mechanics, you know, not necessarily auto mechanics, but industrial mechanics, you're building a machine, some kind of a machine, and you have all these, and you're going to be conducting a meeting. You have stockholders. If it's a, you know, if it's not a private company, but a, you know, one that is a public stocking, and of which case, you know, you're conducting a meeting. You need to do that in a proper manner. So, you know, that's a skill that is in every trade, for that matter. Yeah.
I just thought it wasn't not like a present day skill. These are 16, 17-year-old kids. They're not going to be running a stockholders meeting.
That's all right, but you get a 16, 17-year-old. I know a person who is 22 years old and is a mayor of a city. So,
Where's that?
You know, don't knock the youth, because there are a lot of smart guys and girls out there.
Well, getting elected is one thing.
I know.
Getting somewhere.
We won't get into political stuff.
Well, no, it's just generally speaking. And, you know. So anyway, next year, Marlboro, are you going to go?
Of course. I haven't missed the judging yet.
And how long, how many years have you gone out there?
Oh my goodness gracious, I don't know. A lot.
Has it always been in
15
Marlboro?
years. Yeah, the state ones, yes.
It's always Marlboro.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that because it's somewhat centrally located?
Yeah, while that's where the housing is, they're capable of putting up the students. But you know, you noted that there was a lot of school buses up there, transporting the school students to various technical schools that have the equipment, like machine shop. Well, the Marlboro Conference Center doesn't have a machine shop, so therefore the students have to be transported out to, you know, Minuteman, or out to some other vocational school around that does have a machine shop.
Okay,
so,
so that's where
there.
that's where they will do
Yeah.
their project.
Right. Yeah.
How did this, do you have any idea, how did this start? How did this come about?
Oh my goodness. That started probably around 19 70, something like that.
Okay, so it's, going on 50 years.
Oh, yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. And it grows. It grows as much as the school that wants to participate can do that. And that hinges upon the faculty of the school. If the faculty want to have their students excel, and it's kind of nice.
So the local school foots the bill.
Yes.
So in other words, whatever Diamond students participate, or whatever the school administration at Diamond wants to, or thinks that the students should participate in as far as competition, it's incumbent upon the school administration to pay
Correct.
out of their budget.
Correct. That's why I say that my last year at Diamond, which is 2001, the bill for the SkilsUSA was about $55,000.
Wow.
And
so today,
now it's a lot more, because we got a lot more kids participating, a lot more programs.
It's 170, 180,000, maybe even more.
Oh, yeah, probably, absolutely so.
So that's
But it's worth every cent of that, because it brings, at the closing ceremonies, when they close all this down, they give the awards, and it's run almost like the Olympics. They have 3 stands. One's very high, one's a little bit lower, and one's a little bit lower. And the lower one is the 3rd place, and that's a bronze medallion. And then the one that's a little bit higher is the 2nd place, that's a silver medallion. And then the one that's the highest is the gold medallion in there. And,
And that's for every category?
Every category.
Every presentation?
Every presentation, yes. Absolutely so.
All right.
In there. So that when you come home and you got a school that has a lot of medals, I understand that Diamond this year came back with something like 18 golds.
18 gold.
You're right, in there. That's my understanding. I haven't seen the
When you
photo.
say 18 gold,
yet.
that means that could one shop have won 3 or 4 gold medals?
It's possible. You could get 1st, 2nd, 3rd place. So you have the 3rd place medallion.
But that would mean that that shop would have to have sent 3, 4 groups of students to make their presentation.
If it's a team effort, yes. If it's a single competition, like 3 students go up from say machine shop, and they all win, but one wins the 1st place, the 2nd one wins the 2nd place, the 3rd one wins 3rd place. They come back with 3 medallions. Now, sometimes that does happen, and lots of times, one school will get a gold 1st place, another school will get a silver, and then a 3rd school will get a bronze. But in either case, just getting those medals, it's so prestigious. And the students are just so happy and excited about that. Diamond started out very slowly in about 1970 or so. Started very slowly on SkilsUSA, right? And then, I believe it was the machine shop that came back with a gold medal, right? And a couple of other shops came back with bronze and silvers. And then that started the excitement of the other students in the student right? And it's like, hey, we want to do that too.
Yeah.
We can do this, right?
Now,
And it grew and grew and grew.
Briefly, how is, you have a shop, let's say you have the electronics shop, and in that shop, well, you get freshmen, juniors, juniors, sophomore, seniors, might have what? Let's say you have 100 students total in the 4 years.
Yep.
Now, how does 3 or 4 students get to qualify?
Well, normally they'd be the juniors or seniors.
Okay, so how do they get to qualify?
They have to have some pretty high marks.
First of all, high marks.
Right, in that shop, yes.
And then they would be assigned a project to do, some kind of a
Yeah,
electronics?
some of them don't know what the project is going to be. They'll,
No, I'm talking about the school level.
oh, no, they go through the regular shop
Yeah,
program.
but some of the schools are coming up with, they've already got they're bringing in their presentations. I've sat as a judge in the morning, and you get 3 students who will come up in the front, and they'll talk about how they went throughout their school with little water saving devices, and how they calculated that if they did such and such to the toilets, the water consumption would be less. So they've actually prepared a project that they've done in school, and they've brought it to present.
Most of that is stuff that that everybody does in there. And some of them are unique things that the group of students wants to do. Durfee won the, not at Skills, but in the Newport Naval Base, they won the, for the New England area, came in first for the underwater robotics.
Yeah. Well, let's get we're getting out of time. I want to get to one other subject, and that is the present building, Diamond's present building on Stonehaven Road. Either next year or the year after, it'll be 50 years that the new school has been
It
there.
opened in September 1968. That's when I started teaching there.
Okay, so it'll be next year, 2018. They're supposed to have some sort of celebration, or, some sort of...
I'm sure they will, and I'd be very disappointed if they don't. But
it's
I'm
in
no
a-
longer involved in it.
Yeah, apparently it's in the planning stage. Do something, like when the school reached, 100 years old, they had a dinner dance at the Venus de Milo. So maybe...
I'm sure the administration and the Alumni Association, I'm sure they're working on that so that they, they'll have an appropriate recognition of Diamond being there for 50 years.
Now, the school, where it's located and its size, is outgrown itself.
It has. It was designed for something like 900 kids. I brought it up to 1,100 kids.
So what's the future of the school, the
It
grounds?
really needs to have an addition, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen because of the fact that the more students that go to Diamond, the lesser is the number of students that go to Westport High School, Somerset High School, Swansea High School, and Durfee. And guess what? Chapter 70 money follows the students.
But they have these charter schools.
That's absolutely so. They do. And there's a big hullabaloo going on right now about how vocational schools skim off.
Vocational schools?
Vocational schools.
Skim off.
Skim off the best and the brightest of the students.
I've heard that term used down in Las Vegas. When a mob was running some of the casinos, they used to skim off the top, so the tax man got less.
But they...
Well, let me just, we're at the end of the program. I just want to remind everybody that Miller Monument, Memorial Day, that's 11:30, intersection of South Main and Shove Street, so hope to see you there. In honor of Corporal David Miller, who was captured by the Japanese in World War II. So Joe, welcome again, coming on, and we'll see you in 3 weeks, and possibly Gabe Andrade. I know he's not running again for the school committee, but if you, he's welcome to come back on with you.
Excellent.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Okay, thank you out there for watching, and I'll see you next time.